Welcome back to our Game of Thrones recaps. In this episode, titled Sons of the Harpy, we see plots thicken and tensions rise across multiple continents. From the political chess games in King's Landing and the looming conflict in the north, to perilous journeys across the sea and dangerous developments in Dawn, let's dive into the key events you need to know. Back in King's Landing, Cersei, ruling in Tommen's stead, is dealing with the crown's debt to the Iron Bank. More significantly, she empowers the High Sparrow and the Faith Militant to enforce the laws of the faith. This new religious police force immediately causes chaos, destroying property and arresting sinners, including Sir Loras Tyrell, Margaery's brother, for fornication. Margaery is furious and confronts young King Tommen, urging him to act. Tommen confronts Cersei, who denies responsibility and blames the High Sparrow. Tommen then attempts to confront the High Sparrow, but is ultimately powerless against the fanatics, who refuse him entry to see Loras. At the Wall, Jon Snow oversees training recruits. Stannis Baratheon observes and praises Jon's leadership. Melisandre attempts to seduce Jon, speaking of the importance of life over the dead. But Jon refuses, bound by his Night's Watch vows and his love for the deceased Ygritte. As she leaves, she echoes Ygritte's famous line, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." Stannis also shares a rare tender moment with his daughter Shireen, reassuring her of his love and that she will not die. Finally, in the crypts of Winterfell, Sansa Stark places candles near her Aunt Lyanna's tomb. Littlefinger appears, recounts the tragic history of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, and reveals that Stannis Baratheon is marching on Winterfell. He tells Sansa she is the last Stark and must be ready to reclaim her home. Littlefinger then shares that someone is already in love with her, before kissing her and departing for King's Landing. Meanwhile, Jaime Lannister and Bronn arrive covertly on the shores of Dorne. Their mission, rescue Jaime's niece, Myrcella, who is betrothed to Doran Martell's son. After fighting off some Dornish guards upon landing, they are confronted by more soldiers and the formidable Sand Snakes, and are ultimately captured. In Dorne, Ellaria Sand, still grieving Oberyn, is impatient with Prince Doran's inaction, and demands the Sand Snakes choose between peace and war against the Lannisters. The episode kicks off with Tyrion Lannister still being transported by Ser Jorah Mormont. Tyrion quickly realizes they aren't heading towards Westeros as he expected, but east across the Narrow Sea. Jorah reveals he's taking Tyrion to Daenerys Targaryen in Meereen, hoping to win back her favor after his exile years ago. In Meereen, Daenerys Targaryen discusses her late brother Rhaegar with Barristan Selmy, learning more about his true nature beyond battle. Hizdahr zo Loraq approaches Daenerys again, continuing to advocate for the reopening of the fighting pits as a vital Meereenese tradition. Daenerys remains hesitant, seeing them as barbaric. Later, a violent uprising by masked men against the king's men breaks out in Dorne's streets and arena. The conflict is brutally put down by king's men, led by Qyburn, who executes the captured rebels. Sons of the Harpy sets the stage for significant conflicts. The Faith Militant's brutal power grab in King's Landing, Jaime's dangerous mission, and the volatile situation in Dorne, including the masked uprising put down by Qyburn, Tyrion's unexpected journey to meet Daenerys, and Sansa's entanglement with Littlefinger as Stannis marches on the north. The pieces are moving rapidly across the board. Stay tuned for what happens next.